Hey guys, my name is Ryan.
And I'm Mysca.
And welcome back to Overwatch Central, and this time a Zenyatta gameplay analysis. We'll be going over playstyle, general observations of ours, as well as tips and tricks with playing our Omnic Monk friend. We are past the halfway mark of our gameplay analysis videos, and we really hope that you're enjoying them. Let us know if there's any kind of content that you would like us to do in the future in the comments below. With series like Central Combos maybe going for a little bit of a break until the game potentially launches and we can actually play some of the heroes before we make videos on them again. Basically, if any slots come up, we want to be able to fill that content with appropriate stuff, so do let us know what you may like to see in the future. But for now, let's get back on topic and talk about Zenyatta. So earlier when we got the game, both Mysca and I gave Zenyatta a good go and quickly understood the hero's potential, the beautiful attack animations and this risk-reward situations that you have to get yourself into are exciting, and overall he's just a really fun hero to play. Let's just do what we do with a lot of gameplay analysis and just start with the usual and go over what is Zenyatta really good at doing.
Zenyatta is definitely the best hero to pick to easily expose enemy tanks. The Discord Orb is the best tool to weaken any of the more beefier heroes in the game. Even sticking in on the heroes with 200 HP or less can be a good choice, since it really improves your chances of eliminating them with just 1 or 2 hits. Apart from this though, the somewhat obvious, people actually forget one of the most important things: orb switching. If you're not switching the Harmony and Discord Orb efficiently, making sure it's always on the optimal target, you're missing out on some of the value from the abilities. This is what really differentiates a good Zenyatta player from a great Zenyatta player. As to Zenyatta's ult, I'd say it's one of the most underrated ultimates in the game actually. This might seem like an odd thing to say, since it feels obvious that an AoE heal and invulnerability is strong, but just like the other abilities, it's about using the ult as efficiently as possible, which can be tricky with Zenyatta. Mercy often becomes the preferred pick when choosing a support because of her ult and how relatively easy it is to use. But Resurrect relies on your team dying, something that Zenyatta's ult doesn't rely on. Yes, Transcendence is much harder to coordinate than the Mercy rest, but the payoff can be huge. Coordinating a Zenyatta ult properly with your team can win you games. If you want to know even more about doing this, you can watch our Central Combos video on Winston and Zenyatta here.
So you've mentioned what you need to do to play Zenyatta as efficiently as possible. But of course every hero has their weaknesses, so what are Zenyatta's and how do you avoid getting caught out by them?
Zenyatta is squishy, very squishy, an HP pool of just 150 and 100 of that being just shield HP makes him extremely easy to take out in fights. Mercy can only heal 50 out of 150 HP because of this, so he can't be healed through a burst of damage. The only actual way for Zenyatta to stay alive when under continuous fire is to activate his ultimate, which results in a wasted Transcendence most of the time. The way to play around this is by always keeping your positioning in mind, staying in the back or flanking the enemy, and using the element of surprise to quickly burst them down is the best way to go about not getting yourself killed. Stay in the back or on the flank with at least one other hero on your team, and make sure that you always have a reliable escape route, just in case. If you're positioned well most of the time, then using the ultimate to save yourself might not be a bad idea sometimes, since it's pretty likely that you can turn that into a push or just an advantage for your team in one way or the other.
I remember seeing a Reddit thread on the subreddit a couple of weeks ago regarding Zenyatta's ult and how it doesn't really match Zenyatta's playstyle at all in regards to how effective of a support he is. For those that don't know, hopefully there's some footage showing, but for Zenyatta's ult, he basically becomes invulnerable and heals those around him in like a 10-yard radius, I guess. The Reddit thread suggested that this ultimate should be that Zenyatta can put Discord Orbs on all the enemy team for a short amount of time instead of just one on one person. And the same thing for Harmony Orbs on his teammates. What do you think about Transcendence as a whole, and do you have any ideas what the ultimate could potentially be in the future?
Yeah, I think I spotted this post as well, and I definitely agree with what the OP talked about. Zenyatta, being a hero that is supposed to be in the back line of the team, has an odd ultimate since it forces him to be in the middle of the fight. If he had an ultimate that allowed him to not temporarily move out of position essentially, he would probably be a lot stronger overall, and both in public matches and competitive. Sure, we see him a lot in games, but we could see him a lot more. As to what exactly his ultimate should be changed to, I don't really know, but stronger Harmony Orbs on all teammates within a certain radius around Zenyatta, lasting for about 3 or 4 seconds, wouldn't be a terrible idea, I guess. It would require the team to be very well coordinated, but still allow Zenyatta to not move out of position. Then again, it's difficult to balance an ability like this without actually playtesting it properly. I would love to see Blizzard put in something new for us to experiment with and give balancing feedback on though.
I think we had this issue with Winston last week that we were very much like, we'd like to see a change in a certain amount of playstyle, but when people asked us what we would change, it's a really hard thing to gauge. It's a really hard thing to think of an idea. But the game is in very good hands with Blizzard, so if anybody's going to think of a suitable replacement of an ultimate or playstyle for any hero, it's them. And we're no doubt going to see that with Bastion and Torbjorn. On that subject, it's worth mentioning that we have been potentially toying with the idea of a bit of a Q&A series, with you guys asking us questions in the comments and us sort of making a video talking about them. We've had some amazing comments this week, so much so that I've really struggled to narrow down what I want to say into a paragraph, but if there's enough sort of questions out there like that, then we would very much like to talk about them and sort of talk to you face to face, in a sense. If that's something that you would like to see, and if you have any questions, then be sure to leave them in the comments down below on the game, playstyles of heroes, game modes, even us as a channel. Whatever question is fine. But for now, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for helping us hit 3k subs just before New Year. That was amazing. And until next time, take care, and we will see you then.